we're
Hola!
back. I tell you what, the Mexican internet is hooking up. I don't think it's too bad. I reckon, I don't want to jinx us, but I think we're back in the game, dog.
8 seconds in at this point.
That's true. That is true, yeah.
Let's not speak too soon.
No, you're quite right. Hello, it's good to see you. It's good to be back. I feel like I've been away a long time.
I feel like you've been away a long time, mate, as well. It's been weird because we've had episodes in the bank, and it always feels so strange taking 2 weeks off.
Yeah, right.
Not that it's off, but it is off. Like, we're not doing this. So, yeah, it's been weird, man. I think this is probably the longest we've not spoken again.
Yeah, probably
for a while.
Yeah,
it's been
to actually do an episode, and like these episodes are undoubtedly therapeutic in some senses, aren't they? Like you just have it as part of your routine. You know, routines. When something becomes part of your routine, just getting rid of it. It could be anything. Just getting rid of it is difficult.
Yeah, it is definitely, mate. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Can give an example.
Please.
I use a butt sprayer at home. Out here, there's no butt sprayers. There's a bin. You know what I mean? I'm not about that life. It's been an upheaval. Yeah. The sewers can't cope with the toilet paper, can they?
Right. So you just put it in a bin.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God. Oh, mate.
What a start.
I mean,
what?
Yeah.
It took 3 seconds before we were talking about toilet.
So hang on, let's just clarify though, because this is kind of new to me, but I have heard it before. So you're gonna do a wipe, and you're just literally just gonna put it in the bin.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do a wipe. You're gonna keep going until you're nice and clean. You just put it in the bin, and then
fold it up.
Someone
put it in the bin, and then, yeah.
Okay, and then someone comes along and takes out the bin, or are you taking the bin out?
I'm in a hotel. I'm not taking any bins out. I'm not like offering my services up anyway. I'm not like.
No.
Oh, don't worry about
shared
that.
Room or.
Yeah. So, are we off the toilet topic now, or are we?
I don't know. I think we should get off this.
So I've been here for 10 days now in Guanajuato, right in the middle of Mexico. We're deep amongst it, and
You've only been there 10 days, dude.
Maybe more.
Are you sure?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
When did I go away? 11th. No, I went away on the 11th.
So it's the 27th now.
So it's more than 10 days, yeah.
16 days.
Okay. I've been away 16 days. Wow, dude, it's such a whirlwind. I'm sort of in this weird hangover stage now, and probably you can relate to it in certain sense, or certainly anyone who works in I think events in particular are like it. Like you have this giant build up. I'm sure lots of jobs are like it. You know, if you work on a trade or on a big building site, then I'm sure they also, you're working towards one goal, and it's like uphill. And then with an event, you get to the end of it, and it just fucks off. Like all of the pressure, all of everything just goes. Because I've woken up every morning for it feels like so long, for 2 weeks, just thinking, right, we've got to fucking screw that down. Yeah, we've got to make sure that's done. Make sure there's timber up there. We need to make an order for down there. We need to get the dumper truck loaded. So blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
You wake up and you're just I feel empty, you know. And I'm sure lots of people I've been here working with feel the same way.
Certainly a theme that we spoke about actually recently, right? When I was talking about how my life had changed and how there's never really an end to anything. It's just a constant grind, and you never feel like you're accomplishing anything. So that must be nice for you, actually, because you sort of live in my world like that, don't you? And you live in this world as well sometimes, where you go and do a project, whether it's filming project or something like a building project. So you get to see both sides of it. But yeah, I'm longing for something like that at the moment, where I can go sign off, done. Like I've done all that hard work, been up that long hill and done the grind, and then you can just sign that thing off. But
I've signed a few off lately. I feel really quite I just
the
feel
New Zealand
thing. I feel like having nothing for a bit. I actually do.
You're productive at the moment, really, aren't you?
Chilling a bit. Yeah. Because it is too much though. You do sort of wear yourself out. Yeah. But it's been,
dude. You've been busy for the last few months, really. You've been on it. You've been hustling. So.
Yeah. Mate, but it feels good now. We're relaxed now. John and so basically the BSI team is Christian Fairclough, John Davis, Liam Mason. I don't know if I really wanted to do a podcast with all those guys because we've been kind of a bit of a wolf pack for the last. It's been so funny. All of these events really like bring you closer together, almost to the point where.
That's literally one of my questions that I wanted to ask you. So BSI, we can see the logo on the tee if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
The BSI logo.
Got a uniform.
What is BSI and how was it formed? And how did it start? Like, I'd love for you to unpack that a little bit because I also have no clue what this is.
No, I know, right? So 7 years ago, I think 7 years ago, I was approached last minute about building Taxco. And I'd never been to Mexico before. I'd never built. I'd done a little bit of building for some urban races. I'd done a little bit. Obviously, I'd done a lot of building tracks, but I was approached and I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at the time. Like I had no idea, but I was aware that I couldn't do it by any means on my own, and I needed. But I got straight in touch with Christian. Christian just is like the most practical mind. He makes things happen. He's unflappable. We've built loads of stuff before, and I just knew he was like the man for the job. And I said, "Do you want to go 50-50 on this? I think we're going to need a team of 4." I mean, dude, honestly, at that point, I hadn't even really. I'd just seen pictures of Taxco. You know, like street racing wasn't like live. It wasn't like. You didn't get to see much video. You got to see GoPro footage. Yeah. But I think probably at that point in my life, I was maybe a little bit more a little bit more cocksure maybe, and I was just like, give it here. I'll give it a go. I mean,
how much?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So me, Christian, and at the time it was Duncan Ferris and Liam went out to Taxco.
Right.
Having never been to Mexico before, we went out to Taxco, which is really deep in Guerrero State, and we had the best time. It was a huge amount of work. We didn't have enough days. We were completely inexperienced. The track fell apart in places. We didn't know. Christian had just come up with an idea which we still use to this day, how to make dirt landings, because Taxco is different to Guanajuato in that there's a free ride event at the same time. So you have to have dirt landings for people to do big tricks.
Okay.
So if you just pile dirt, it doesn't work like that. Every dirt landing you see that's square edged is taking a long time to make it like that. We don't have time we don't have. So Christian came up with this idea for the landings, and it's a great idea. We still use it now, but we didn't quite have it dialed at the time. So during the event, the landings are falling apart, and you've got tons of dirt pushing out on these ply, and it's all going in holes, and it's fucking up. But we just about scraped through our first street race, and from there on we were like, we can actually do this, and we can do this really well. Like, and it's kind of unique what we offer, because at the time, actually, and still to this day, they don't test features in street races. We're the only we're the only crew that test, and it's a big part of why companies want to use us, because you know, every street race you see, they might have built a feature and then no one will ride it, or everyone will kick off.
Qualifying is like the first practice.
It's such limited practice that it's really important that the features work. In my opinion, if I was turning up to race at one of these things, I'd want to know that it's all done. And so we offer. Well, obviously, what we offer is the most niche thing ever. But we're now seven years in, and we've done Taxco, Medellin, Puerto Vallarta, and now Guanajuato, and we've now actually weirdly got loads of experience in this fucking bizarre, weird niche. So
that's heaps cool. What's BSI stand for?
Barnstormers International.
Of course it does. Yeah, of course it does. Of course, that's what it is. Yeah,
dude. As with anything, it all starts as a joke, right? What are we doing? We're sat here talking. It wasn't really planned out. So when we first got approached, I honestly just thought, like I got asked, and I was like, fuck, they're not going to fucking take us seriously unless we have a company. So let's just fucking, you know, we're BSI.
Throw a name on it.
Stick London on the end. It sounds fancy. We're dealing with Mexican businessmen. Like, BSI London. It's good. Barnstormer is like a good event. That's what you call it. It was an absolute barnstormer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, So that's how BSI was born many moons ago. Now So
is the team now like this is it? This is the core team. Does it change? Do you bring in different people to BSI? Do you have contractors or anything?
I mean, certainly for every single one, it's been like Christian, Liam, and myself, I think, and then John worked in Medellin when Duncan Ferris couldn't make it. Duncan Ferris is obviously heading up building at Bike Park Wales.
Yeah.
And people can't just drop things at, they can't just drop like 10 days all of a sudden to come out to Mexico and work in the streets. Yeah. So it's good to have people coming in and out, and hopefully we'll do more with Dunk, hopefully we'll do more with John, but yeah, hopefully we'll do more full stop, because as weird as it sounds, it's been the hardest work, but it's been so great. It's been so good. As far as trips go, it's kind of got that Rampage feel in that you're just out here. Like a shared goal is something that really brings, I don't know if you know what I mean, it really brings people together, and it really makes you like...
Of course it does, yeah. I mean, for me, again, I've not really done many projects like that, but it almost feels like the team sport effect.
Yeah.
When you're on a team and you're all working towards this goal, like whether it's to win a game or a championship or even just training, and you're just trying to achieve that same thing as just getting better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that, man. I actually do thrive in that environment. Back when I was a youngster, all I wanted to do was work on a supercross team. Like there's a job on a supercross team called a runner, and the runner is basically the guy that just keeps things together, who just overlooks and makes sure that like for everything from the stands are straight to having food on the tables, like the hospitality.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my sort of thing. I do like team environment stuff. I'm quite a collaborative worker, as we probably guessed with this. Like I like bringing people in, and that whole like rising tide lifts all ships sort of thing. I really resonate with that, and I love having people around. So I probably would thrive in that environment. I'm not really much of a solo worker, which is weird because that's kind of what I've ended up doing a lot. But yeah.
No, mate, you're so right about the team thing. Like, we've been working with Phosphoro Productions, so Phosphoro is the boss of this race, and he previously he'd done the Medellin race that we built, and the team he's pulled together are obviously his team of friends and close companions, and like it's funny because you like all these people, and then you really value these people when it actually comes to the event, because you can like, you're all working towards the same thing, and when you end up valuing people in a different way, because you know that this guy's on this part of the course, and you know that he's solid and that he's going to take care of business, and he's going to message you when something needs to happen, and then maybe you've got a girl here, you've got a guy here, you've got a girl here, and they're all just working together and like for the same goal, and you really value people, and you know they've worked hard at the end of each day, and it's really good. So
how does go on? Sorry. Go on.
No, you go. Yeah, how does what?
Now, I want to know, like, how did this all come around? Obviously, we've just spoke a little bit about BSI's formation and getting that initial Taxico downhill thing, but how did this one? So, like, how does it work? So, Phosphoro, you say Productions, right? So, were they running these events before Red Bull got involved, and Red Bull have like become a series partner, or is it a Red Bull event and then they work for Red Bull? How does that?
Phosphoro,
do you know?
Phosphoro Productions is run by Phosphoro, and Phosphoro is from Guanajuato and is the boss of this spot. He's currently got Genon over filming with Anthill. He's doing numerous projects. He's just like the guy that makes it all happen. He runs races anyway, so he's previously done races called Ultimate Urban Enduro in this spot. So he already knew that this was,
okay.
Like Latin America is fucking street racing, dude, and like people actually ride street race courses out of race time. So, as you may have been able to see from the results and from the time differences, it seems that they're pretty good at it out here. They know what they're doing.
Apart from that sneaky little youngster, but we'll let him off because he's just legit on a bike at the moment.
Yeah, true. Yeah, indeed. So so this has been the first one where we've been part of the Cerro series, which is town race in Spanish, and I think it's brilliant having Red Bull on board for that, and for an injection of interest into street racing, really, because I actually really see it as Red Bull's thing. We've already talked about it before on the podcast, but I think it makes a great spectator sport. Well, I don't know. You tell me, dude. What do you think of the live stream?
Mate, I'm with. What do I think of the live stream? I mean, where do we start?
Well, I haven't watched
sound really serious right then.
Yeah.
So it was okay. One thing that's got to be mentioned is that obviously Claudio and Rob were dealing with some jet lag. Claudio was just different. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. It was like, I do this a lot though, so I sympathise with him, especially when you're talking on a platform where you know people are going to listen, right? You second guess yourself a little bit, and I think Claudio was, everything he said, he'd almost second guess it, so it was dead funny to listen to because you could tell he was a little bit out of his groove. So he'd say, for example, I'm trying to think of an example, would be like, I'm trying to think. Let me think of an example of how he did it. Okay, so it'd be sort of, Bren wearing wore clip shoes, right? So he'd say, Brendan Fairclough is racing in clip shoes. Of course he can't, and then he'd almost second guess it and then go, of course he does also ride in flat shoes, but today he's riding clip shoes. But he's really good on flat. He was like second guessing everything that he said.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird to listen to. But yeah, I mean, anyway, that's by the by. No hate on Claudio. He's a great commentator and yeah, amazing. But it was just interesting to hear that. Again, no criticism, but they had Win there in studio, but Win didn't really do that much on this episode of the street race. He did like a little bit at the start, talking about some of the little intricacies of the course and
Line
maybe
choices,
where people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a little bit of that. Again, don't know if I missed it, but I'd have loved if they'd gone back to Win a little bit more. Personally, that's just me. Obviously, Rob on point. But yeah, you could tell they were dealing with something in the studio.
Oh, really? Maybe it was like technical difficulties, dude.
Yeah. But I think from a viewer standpoint, though, man, and this is, like you said, something that we've spoken about quite a bit, super relatable to watch, and you get it instantly. You know that those steps are going to be hard as shit to ride down. You know that if, I can't remember the guy's name, but the first guy who crashed going down the stair set, you know how hard that will have hurt because he almost stopped dead when he hit like a wall, basically, at the bottom of the bottom of the steps. So I'm sat there watching it with my girlfriend too, and obviously she was like, I understand that. I know that walls don't move. If someone hits a tree when you're out in the wilderness racing downhill, you can kind of go, I don't know what that might feel like. It might feel a little bit different than hitting a wall.
You know what walls.
But yeah, the broadcast was really good. Tons of angles, like pretty much the whole course was
mind blowing. How much work goes into that?
Yeah, pretty much the whole thing. Like you didn't, and also multiple angles as well. So they cut to different angles of the same section, which was amazing.
Huge operation. And, and like what it also brought was like there was a hospitality aspect to it, which we miss in downhill races. There was a real hospitality aspect, so they had a lot of business meetings and stuff going on in a big area, you know, like in Formula One pits. Like essentially Formula One is a hospitality event for the sponsors.
Yeah, totally.
Like a lot of those logos.
It's a spectacle. It's like
the logos they're almost by the by. A lot of the logos. When you see a small logo, you're like, no one's looking at the small logo and then buying something. It's not. Maybe a certain amount of brand awareness, but largely it's hospitality in a lot of motorsports as well, and that was very cool to see.
That is cool to see for sure. And again, I really hope I haven't just hated on Claudio because that's not what I'm doing. But it was interesting that he was like second guessing all this sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was great to watch. I really enjoyed it, man. I think obviously having you out there, you've got a bit of a horse in the race. Seeing Jono out there, Brendan out there, you've got horses in the race, which was really nice. But I think it's just different, dude. It's just that little bit of an injection that I think it needs sometimes. The sport in general, like the whole thing, it's just different. It's unique. All the media coming out of it, again, those guys do a great job. You know, you've got Jono releasing stuff, you're releasing stuff, and you just feel like a bit more invested in it. I also think that again, we spoke about this offline, but the final field was just 15 riders.
Yeah.
Which again, it was just so for our time in the UK, it was on at like 8:45, 8:45 or something. We were either going to watch a movie or we were going to watch the street race, which you wouldn't have the ability to do that normally with a downhill race because it's like, it's UK, we're going to be sat here for 3 hours and it's going to be a long drawn out thing, which is great in some ways, but looking at this as from like an entertainment thing, an entertainment package, perfect. It's like on for like an hour and 15, an hour and 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Hard hitting, fast, exciting, crashing, tight times, all of it was like, yeah, super good. Loved it.
I think I run a risk of sounding like I'm really pro street racing, and it's probably because I build them. But I actually do think, in an unbiased manner, I think it is a really wild spectacle, both when you're there and online, because it is hard to relate, like you say, to the woods for people that don't understand it. And I think really that's what Red Bull are trying to do. They're trying to sell a fizzy drink, and like it does the job. It really does. I mean, I don't know if it comes across on camera quite how gnarly they are. I mean, Jono.
No,
it was really cool.
I think that's so difficult
over.
To get that across. Like, it's so hard because you can't tell from the TV how steep and uneven those steps are. When you're doing your vlog and you're walking down there and you can see it. You can see from the shin height, the sock height, or whatever. Oh yeah, they're all different. But until you like see it and try and walk down them or up them or ride down them, I wouldn't say it's hard to relate, but it's just different.
Mate, it is. It is so crazy. And then, and what else is crazy is that it's become its own thing. Like the Colombians and Mexicans, they're going so fast, so fast.
And it was like noticeable as well that those final three, I think it was. I mean, emphasis on the winner. Was it Camilo Sanchez? Is that his name? Camilo? Okay. I did actually bring it up.
Full results list, because there will be.
Camilo Sanchez, like noticeably fast.
Yeah.
I mean, just noticeable from the broadcast, like how fucking ridiculously fast he was going.
Super interesting as well, because he was on a enduro bike, which I would not have said. I wouldn't have said that would do that well.
Really? I think they were talking a lot on the broadcast about that sprint up the slight gradient. Again, on camera it looks like a really slight gradient, but I guess in reality,
no, it is.
Oh, it is.
They carried a lot of speed in. Like riders were exhausted at the end because we're at altitude here. Well, a bit of altitude. We're at like 2,000 meters or something, 2 and a bit, and But really, all of the pedal sections, you carried speed in. So they were harsh, but compared to some of the street races we've done, they're not that. They weren't too bad. So I personally didn't feel. Let's have a look at the final results and go through it. Who was on the downhill bike? So Camilo Sanchez won on an enduro bike. Jackson downhill bike. Felipe Agurto, I can't remember what he was on.
Can we just halt here a little bit, because obviously you'll have spent a little bit of time with Jackson while he was at this race, I'm guessing. So he's come in, he's done one street race ever. Obviously the kid's on fire at the moment, right? He's just won Australian Nationals.
Yeah, he's about to win a World Cup overall.
About to win a World Cup overall.
Yeah, the season hasn't started, but...
Yeah, but he's, I think he finished 4th at the last round anyway. So dude, the kid's just on fire. But did you get a chance to look at how he, I guess sort of entered that race and how he like broke down the course and how, it's so different, dude, to anything that he'll have ever really ridden. And he almost won the thing. Like, it's insane.
It's a lifetime of it though. He's lifelong, isn't he? He's been doing this shit for so long. He's Neo. He's cracked it, whatever it is. He's Matrix guy. He's the one. He is the one.
Yeah.
You watch him. Did you see on his run? He didn't look like he's pedaling that much. He understands speed. He just tucks. He's like what I always notice with him is, notice a lot of things. He's amazing on a bike, but like his corner speed and then his like he's really good at like unweighting the bike. Obviously, he's not a giant dude. Makes you feel like an oaf on a bike. Like when I go down the steps, it feels so different. It's just featherweight, skimming everything. Really, really impressive. Cool to see.
Such like total different specimens. If you got hit like Thomas Slavic and then you've got Jackson Goldstone in the gate, total different specimen, almost like a different creature, But I mean, there's no right and wrong in our sport, which I like. There actually isn't. I mean, obviously Jackson's sort of swaying us one way, but Slavic is a fucking unbelievable athlete.
Get well soon to him. That crash was like the section of stairs and the speed that the fast guys, well, all of them were going through. It's hard to comprehend. And I don't think cameras do any of it justice. And hopefully it came across in the live feed. But that is mind blowing how quick they're coming in. And Slavic was one of the only people that was jumping into the stairs, which ended up being his undoing. But that crash was really scary.
What one of the best ways to see the speed actually was when the drone was following through that street, that tight section. Then when the drone was following, you really got a sense of holy fuck, 36 kilometers an hour or something they were going down there.
Yeah,
that's fast.
It's crazy. And out of the gate, those stairs were shocking. I mean, I could do a bit of a talk through of the tracks. I'm trying to think if I feel like I don't really think I covered much. I would have liked to have covered more in my YouTube videos of the things that the build up. I actually think it's a waste that we don't. I think that in future, because I was on a bit of a media blackout, I wasn't allowed to post anything until the event. I think I think that they've got a hired gun here. I'm gonna hype the most I can out of my own shit, and it's gonna. I think it would only make people watch the event more if they see the first hits.
Totally agree.
I'd love to see in the comments below what people think, but I for the next Cerro that we do, I'd love to, bring out a film crew or just be able to do daily content. I think would be. I think it would only bring a lot to the event. We have the best time. We.
That's also a running theme though. When you look at when they were talking about the World Cups stopping riders doing vlogs and this and that, people love BK stuff. People want to see that behind the scenes. They want to see the run up. They want to see course walk. They want to see practice. Huge part of it, dude. Behind the scenes is just as interesting as the race.
Yeah,
it's all. It makes and the best thing is it makes the race more interesting because you're invested in it. Yeah. You see the storylines unfold, and you know a little bit about bike setup and what these guys are dealing with. When you just see a race run, you're disconnected from it.
100%.
I mean, look at what other sports do. UFC do a great job with the embedded series, right? You are so invested in that fight. By the time the fight comes, that's storytelling. That's if we're looking at this as a media package, right? You want to storytell, whether that's done through athletes vlogs or an actual film crew or whatever it is. Imagine if Red Bull were doing that. Holy shit, dude. A daily thing following you guys around and the athletes come in and
it seems like we all agree, and obviously we're keen for it. The process of building is so cool because at the top of this race, it was a slightly more dangerous area, and when you start you can feel it a little bit, and then but gradually as people see you work, I know I've talked about it before, but as people see you work and as you interact with them and you buy food from their shops and you play with their children on the streets, everyone just ends up friends, and then you end up I look forward to going back every day, and it isn't just it isn't us fucking charging through people's living rooms. It's lovely how Phosphoro and the team, people want to be involved in a big race, and if you imagine the opportunity for something cool to happen in your town, you'd fucking jump at the chance. So it's really cool to be part of, and I think doing those daily vlogs would be really, really cool.
This is our first AG1 Athletic Greens advert. Together in person.
Optimised.
And to celebrate, we're going to show you how you make one.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
but first, we should go through the points, right?
Definitely, we should go through the points, and then we can use this as inspiration.
Okay, so
this is literally how it works.
So we got to talk about us.
But it's really easy with this product because I genuinely do use it every single day.
Likewise.
The mornings don't feel optimised without a scoop of Athletic Greens.
It's completely become part of my daily routine.
That's beautifully done, mate.
Yeah, nice one. Okay, I'll do the next point. Yeah. Our mission is to empower people. Instead of people, I'm going to put companionship. Our mission is to empower the companionship to take ownership of their health with a simple daily habit. Yeah. What makes you stick to a habit, and how have you made AG1 a part of your life?
I'm loving how it makes me feel, mate, and my days are genuinely better after I've had Athletic Greens. Knowing that you've taken 75 different vitamins, minerals and whole food ingredients before your eyes are even awake and like before you're still wiping.
Because you have to take it on an empty stomach, right?
They
Yeah, take it on empty. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
it's literally first thing in the morning, get it done. That's how it's become part of the habit.
Do you do it before brushing your teeth or after?
I actually do it before. Is that gross? Okay,
So
you
I'm more
go
of a
with the
scoop
scoop.
guy.
So that's
And then you do a travel pack, and then we can
Perfect.
show our beautiful companionship exactly how you do this. Right?
exactly, yeah. So that's a month's worth in that.
It's a month's worth in here. And
Yeah, I keep that in the fridge. I keep all of it in the fridge.
I don't keep it in the fridge, but
But it's better for it.
cold up north.
There you go. You don't need to.
I do.
You don't need to.
All right. Okay. Do you want to do yours first, or should we do it at the same time?
Let's do it at the same time because it's cute, and also because it's mainly audio. This is going to encourage people to go to the YouTube video to see us make it.
Okay. The highly
Make a drink.
technical drink being made.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like. Oh,
Here we go.
The spoon's amazing.
Hey, by the way, I'm currently using the travel pack. You've got 30 days worth in there.
Yeah.
I'm currently using the travel pack. Now, when people sign up using our code, they actually get 5 of these, and they're very useful for when you're on the road, because once this is a part of your routine, you don't want to stop it.
Exactly.
Even if you're on the move.
Beautifully said.
Thanks.
Okay, so you're just gonna put yours in. I'm just gonna
That's
put
a
mine in.
portion there. That's a portion measured out into a bag, and yours is a portion in a scoop.
Scoop. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so that's really good.
Just wanted to give a shout out to the lovely container too, and the spoon.
Oh, it doesn't feel high quality.
Spoon's so nice.
Yeah.
So,
What do you do next?
exactly. I just wanted to ask you.
Okay. Well, I actually like to just start things off with a little bit of swill.
Ooh,
Is that called a swill?
yeah, that's nice.
A little circular motion. Depends which part of the world I'm in to which way it spins, because sometimes if I'm in the other hemisphere, it actually goes the other way. So
that right?
that's just completely dependent on
And
my
then you
location.
go a bit of a more of an aggressive one.
Yeah, and then I go with the aggressive one. Obviously, the location is important. Yours is actually spraying out and hitting me a little bit, but that's fine.
Oda AG1.
Yeah, the location is important because I've got the travel pack, whereas your direction is less
What do you think the
important.
ideal location to drink an AG1 is?
Right where you are right now.
Beautiful. Okay, should we have a...
Yeah, have a take.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Undo the lid.
Yeah.
But then, also, if you sign up using our code, you get a year's supply of vitamin D, which is very relevant at the moment because, as you can see in the background, it's very dark and a little bit dingy on this building site. So I'm just going to give you a little drop.
Nice.
That should replace the sunlight that you're not getting.
Okay.
On a cold winter day.
Whisk this back in, or do you just go with it?
Let's do a bit more because we like this bit anyway, don't we? Now the taste test. There's no point in taste testing. I have it literally every day. It's delightful.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks AG1. Thanks Athletic Greens. The link is in the description.
Cheers.
Right.
We're gonna have a little bit. I feel like the ad read would be better now. I've had some of that.
Long ad now, innit? Yeah, it probably would have done. We should have drank it first.
AG1 is so much more than a greens powder. It's all of your key health products in one. And that's one thing I love about it. No more massive supplement drawer, man.
Yeah.
I used to have them all racked up there, all of the different ones, whereas now it's just boom.
Literally that.
That.
Done. And that.
All that.
If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/ride companion. What address is that, Davey?
athleticgreens.com/ride companion. That's athleticgreens.com/ride companion.
And check it out.
Can we do a bit of a run down the course? No doubt it's going to be
Let's
pretty...
do it, yeah.
Pretty sort of like branded inside your brain, but I'd love to talk about, go through the course and then some of the stuff that you came up against as you were building down there, and some of maybe the people that you met. That'd be kind of cool. I'd love to know more about Gary Lineker. That sounded
absolutely.
hilarious.
Yeah. So the top of the so the very top of the course is obviously crazy view across the entire town. The town's about 200,000 people big, really beautiful town, very historic, many different colours. Like it actually is really beautiful, Guanajuato. It's overshadowed by these like giant mountains, which I've actually just been on a ride in the mountains with Phosphoro. So it's an amazing place. So you drop straight in though to the steepest set of stairs probably on track, and like you mentioned, they're really uneven, really horrible. We had to build a ramp off the top of a building and then straight into a catch berm. We kind of made, I don't know if you saw, but when you build something, you almost have to, you take a bit of responsibility for what's going to go on. So I don't know if you noticed that berm wasn't that steep, the first one, and it had a drop off kind of the end. And those things were deliberate, and it was really good to actually have some of those. Like I did a track walk with Slavic, and he was like, "Yeah, you're 100% right. That's good that you did that, because you want to slow."
Like almost to slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, because the stairs afterwards, it's dangerous enough as it is. It doesn't need any help. You know, you don't need like. You don't need like
something you can just pedal round.
Yeah, because people will. You know, there's money on the line. There's like a TV show, so people will, and the crashes were bad enough as it was. So you want to keep it sort of like mellow. So that was one thing that we came across. Then we had this was bad actually. That first road gap. Did you see the first road gap in the first stairs? Looks like nothing. It's horrific. Huge compressions coming into it, and then you just sort of bounce off, and then it's really narrow afterwards, where the first guy crashed just before Brendan.
Oh yeah. So is this after Gary Lineker's house?
No, we're still right at the very beginning. We're very beginning, first straight, right? I can go down the track in detail if you want, or I can.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I'll do it. So
you can.
So at the start of race day, someone had moved a sheet of ply off the landing of that, and it was a huge compression. And we had a load of 6x1 timber, which wasn't very strong. So we lay a sheet of ply over the top just to like, until you see people, until you do a race run, you don't realise how much stress goes through all of the features. And they're all temporary. They're built on uneven surface. They're not perfect by any means. It's not hard to build, but you have to be flexible. Nothing is square. Nothing is nice. There's gaps everywhere. So so I had to run from halfway down the course with a sheet of ply up through all the crowds and with that on. Obviously you didn't see that. It was really dramatic though. We were shitting ourselves because we couldn't like create a course hold. It was during practice. It was like fuck. It was gnarly. So we eventually got that done. And
when you say someone moved, you mean someone stole?
Yeah. Got whizzed off. So you're up against that a lot. Like you put the features in, and obviously we don't want to close all of the streets. So you'll notice the wall ride alleyway. We kind of made it so you could still get a car through, but that doesn't stop people like driving over stuff and breaking it. So you're constantly like fixing stuff the whole time and thinking logistically about how you're going to not block roads, and it does kind of tie in with how you end up making the course, really.
What is like you said, people maybe breaking stuff, stealing stuff. What is the sentiment like out there? You say a lot of people are stoked, but there must be that underbelly of not stoked. Yeah, a lot of that, right? Has there been any issues with that? Like
there's barely ever any, because the Phosphoros team is so good, and so they make friends with the whole community before putting a ramp in front of their fucking commute. So for the most part, it wasn't an issue at all. There was an alleyway further down that we built a berm in. I don't even know if it was on the live feed. It was just before the final straight. That got pulled up, and then they said they were going to burn it, and it got a bit tetchy. It was
So I guess they've got
tiny bit.
They're a Mexican company, right? So they don't have to have translators or anything, but they'll just liaise with that.
Yeah.
Those people that want to cause a bit of a ruckus, and they'll just figure it out. Right.
Yeah, we do the bike riding aspect, not any of the any of the other bits. There's
politics.
There's a huge amount of work goes into all of that, getting it cleared. And like people that have the racetrack going through their living rooms. Obviously, Frida's drop was like directly through a living room, and Gary's drop was directly through his house, and out his window. So they get paid, or they get whatever. So it is all really good, but no, there's largely overwhelming positivity. Obviously, it's weird having a load of English blokes in the street. So at first it's something to get used to, but they soon learn to like us, I think.
Right, keep going down the course. I was also going to ask you, did you build everything out of wood? Because it looked like on that stair set, there was bits of concrete. Were they intentional or were they just there?
Painted wood, yeah. That's just painted wood, yeah. So we build everything out of wood. Honestly, the wood that it's really difficult to plan because every town is different and the timber you get is different. Sometimes it's quite banana-y. Sometimes it's like it's interesting actually. A lot of the timber we use is like really old wood in some places in Mexico. So like jungle wood. Like in Taxco is like jungle wood, which is just so fucking hard to cut. Like you're used to like the pine that we use in the UK for 4x2 is just you can just cut it easy. Yeah. Whereas some of the jungle wood is like it's so hard, yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, we basically did the whole course out of 4x2 in parentheses, 6x1 and sheets of ply.
Wow.
Ain't 4x2 though, but yeah.
It's not.
It's like 3x1.5. Everything is sort of a bit, you never know what you're going to get. But so the whole course is timber, yeah. So
I think that's one of the biggest things is the course went through people's houses. So they obviously liaised with that person, and I thought it was a joke at first that you went through a person's house, but then, and I'm like, have they just set that up to look like a house with photos on the wall and stuff? But no, that was actually through someone's house and out the other side.
Actually someone's house, yeah, absolutely. So that brings us to the next feature, which is Gary's house. So after the first straight, you hit the Red Bull wall ride, come along the first pedal section, it's about 3 cranks worth, and then you're into Gary's. That was wild, because they had to open up, like it all looks plastered and perfect where you go into the building, but they had to like knock down the wall.
Oh, I saw that actually. Yeah, I don't know if you said that.
Work, dude. Yeah, they really did and then they plastered it and then they painted it. So it's all like, it is a lot of work.
Could the course have just gone? I'm guessing it went down a bit of alley, turned into Gary's house,
and then went back out into the same alley. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The idea is you go through Gary's house. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, it's the spectacle of it.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because we talked about this loads. Talked about this with Victor, who runs the whole series. But like, there's an element of spectacle and racetrack, and like, the fastest way down a hill isn't the most exciting way to watch because you probably just go down a straight road. So, like, you run a fine line between making it too ridiculous. But I love those bits. I think they're an important part of street racing. I absolutely love it. Like the fact that we went through and out a window. And actually, it was a mellow feature. We want to make it mellow. We don't want to make it so that every racer hates us when they turn up. But when we first sat there, it's a very different thing. You're sat looking out a window, thinking, "How the fuck are we going to get a bike and a human off here safely?" Like all of the riders that are coming, like 40 riders or something, they all have to jump out of this, and they all have to do it with like fairly limited practice. They had a good amount of practice here, which is cool, but normally it's like 3 runs, then you're into qualifying. So, yeah, it is a daunting prospect. So, you go into Gary's. Gary was named after Gary Lineker, and he's a rapper. So there you go, you can hear him.
No way.
Yeah, and he'd just be rapping up on the rooftop as we worked the whole day. He loves it.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
That's right cool.
Yeah.
Let's try it. We'll try and link to some of Gary's shit.
Yeah, we should do actually, dude, because I've only ever heard him live. I'd love to hear some of it produced.
Okay, let's find it.
Do it.
Yeah, maybe it's got to be out there somewhere.
I'll try and get a link. I will, yeah.
You get a link, or we'll put a link up above or in the show description for Gary's rapping.
Yeah, absolutely. The next up, you're into those like painted steps. When I tested Gary's and those steps, they were unpainted and they were so dangerous. They're like polished concrete, and you touch your brakes and you go down. It's like really slippery, even slippery to walk on. And when they painted them, they used this like grip paint by Comex.
Right.
Comex is one of the sponsors of the event. They make this paint. It's like all different colours, grippy paint. I need to get some actually for the UK. I was thinking of talking to Sam for Rogate. And
is that the stuff that they put in? Oh, maybe it's not. Put in truck beds. Is that Comex?
It's like that shit. It's like that stuff, but it's like it's unreal though. So it was really grippy steps, and they had some different rhythms down there. I don't know if you saw many different rhythms and different lines.
I think that was maybe quite hard to pick up on. Was the rhythm of it. Is that? I guess that was a section that some people were jumping into. Is that one?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But again, I don't think you could really see that on the broadcast from memory.
It was very cool
A few
to
things
see,
have happened since then.
Yeah, it was very cool to see like different riders doing like, you know, like how teams do in World Cups, where you follow each other and you both take a different line, and then because Adrian and Thomas, I noticed, did it, and Adrian went inside on the left, Thomas went outside and doubled down, and although Adrian gapped him at the start, he left with very little speed coming into the uphill section. So Slavic came right up his, he pulled up on him real fast into those wall rides, and it's interesting seeing how different lines make a difference for some reason on a street course, because it's somehow really measurable. You know, it's like, I don't know, it's just clean and understandable.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fewer variables, maybe that's what I mean.
Less variables than a downhill course, for sure.
Because you just get a rock like this and it fucks up a whole line, doesn't it? You get a rock that's moved around.
This is jumping around a little bit, but what did you notice with bike setups? Was there anyone doing anything wild, or is it like, what does a bike setup look like?
Whatever Wanfa was running looks like a good one. Kid goes like absolute stink. Apparently he's doing Junior World Cups
Who's
this
that?
year. He was last man. He was fastest qualifier. He won Medellin. One for
DNF.
One for Velez. Yeah, he DNF'd. But I mean, the pace on that kid is unfathomable, and it's like, he goes as fast as physically possible and just deals with all of these moments that he has on track. It's not like he's like, you watch Jackson's very dialed, calculated. Wanfa is going like absolute. Like, dude, I wonder if there's the qualifying results. I can't think so.
That's something that I think would have been great to see as a broadcast, or if they could have put it up on YouTube after, or just something like, so you can see the qualies.
Well, they've got all the video footage. We've got some crashes in qualies. Woo!
Really?
Mate, I was down by the last jump. We try basically whenever there's. So in terms of an event, whenever it's actually on, we need to be ready with impact drivers, screws, and we've hidden bits of timber all the way up the course. And we have to fix stuff that happens. People case shit in race runs. People smash into stuff at the wrong angle. Stuff gets broken. It just happens. It's like wood. Basically, all of it is material failure, because you've just got like sheets of ply that are not meant to have loads of people casing them. So what we tend to do, we split into two teams, and then we do laps of the course, so that there's always people on different parts, and we've got walkie-talkies, and we communicate where. Oh, look, the landing to Frida's got a big hole in it. Get up there, and we've got bits of wood already there. So we are actually quite good at it. We're amongst it. Everyone always asks me why I don't race. It's like there's zero chance.
And I'm just calling you out on social media.
It's good. I love it, but like
it's just banter.
It's not like you just build it, test it, and then peace out. It feels like it after I've hit everything. I feel like I can peace out, but I really can't. Like, it's a proper job. We got a proper job on race day, and it is so stressful. It's horrible, because the thought of, I don't know if you saw on the live feed during Gary's, luckily I was at the bottom, and I saw on the live feed that going into Gary's drop, one of the slats pulled up on.
Oh, I didn't see that. No,
it was like on the bridge into the house. So it's not an important feature. It's just sort of a transfer feature, but because it had so many people walking on it, it got fucked really easy, because people stand on the edge and lift up screws, and we don't have like ring nails, so all of the nails pull out. You have to screw everything. It's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, a piece flew up, and that is just like it was nearly Slavic's run, and honestly, it makes my hair stand up now, because you're just like, fuck, because this could ruin the event. The whole event is climactic, so it goes towards the sharp end. And if the course is falling apart, it can be on you, you know. Obviously, it's not our fault, but it would feel that way. So we've just fucking, on the radios, bombed up. Liam has thrown up. He ran up the hill so fast to try and fucking...
doing hill sprints.
Yeah, and luckily one of Yepeto, one of the Phosphoro team, sorted it out, so we were all good. But it is mega stressful, yeah. It truly is.
Wow.
There's not a chance in hell I could find time to put my knee pads on and do it. I would like, but equally, I find it quite hard to watch sometimes because I would love to, and like I actually don't think.
Especially when you've ridden it and you're like, yeah, I'm comfortable down it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one place that you want to adopt wearing clip pedals, it probably would be a street race. It's mad how much your feet move, like in the stairs. They're so harsh.
Yeah. What? Okay, I'm trying to think where we got to on the course then. But did we talk about Frida's? Okay. Oh yeah, we did get to bike
next up,
sorry.
after the stair set, the uphill, we've got the wall rides. The wall rides caused a lot of tension during practice because people weren't sure about, like, everyone has a favourite way, and those wall rides go both ways, and they did actually cause a bit of tension.
They said on the broadcast that they were, because there was no cones making people go to them. But the idea was you had to tyre tap each one. Yeah, your tyres have to touch the wall.
That's actually rules in the Cerro series. So previous wall rides, you have to touch the walls. Yeah, but it was hard actually. The first one was really awkward wall, and we were trying to keep people low on the wall because the wall actually wasn't stable. It was just single skin, like concrete blocks.
Okay.
So the first
you don't
one
want
we
Thomas
made super
Slavic
low.
leaning into that too hard.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second one was one of the coolest features we've ever built. That was probably one of the things I was scared to hit actually. First, because it's
the footage you sent, if we can put it here, was of your first hit.
Yeah.
You went high as well, right? I guess you over confiscate. What's the word?
Well, I don't know. I've realised I'm quite like. Through doing all of these, I've got good at it, and I'm like quite like calculated with it all. I really work it out before I do it. I can really visualize exactly where I'm going and all of that stuff. Sounds super lame, but you have to, otherwise you're just pedaling into shit blindly, hoping.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So but I was worried about it because it felt like very difficult to measure speed and to like know how fast you go and how often do you jump off a 5-foot ramp into a wall, like.
Very rare.
Pi actually said to me, who's the local trail boss where I live, he said to me, fuck, street riding makes sense when you've got a 5-foot kicker. And he's so right. It's meant you can just jump up a wall. I was like, my tyre marks, which by the way, I set a secret challenge to have the highest tyre marks.
Oh, nice.
Won it.
Did you get them? Yeah, of course he did. I guess, to be honest, I think from seeing your footage and then everyone, I wouldn't say that, they were kind of racing it. They were trying to stay lower.
It's not honest. A big win for me
also,
to win it, but
you
got
were
to take
noticeably
these
higher though.
Small victories. So off the wall rides, they caused a bit of a stir, but I think eventually everyone loved them. When by the time it was race day, everyone was really enjoying them. We then went into Frida's. Frida's was the gnarliest thing on course, probably, not because of the size of the drops, but because of the narrowness of the doorway. And you might have seen one of the Red Bull had like a exhibition event for some female riders. There was 3 different. I can't remember what.
I didn't see that.
No, it was just a separate thing, and they were filming it, and they were trying to tick off. They were just like in a no pressure situation, just ticking off some features. And I can't remember her name. I put the video up, but it's pretty horrific. The crash she had. Clipping her bars, and that was the big worry. Did you see the one I put on my story?
I think I did.
I can send you the video now. I'll send it to you now. But that was the big worry. That Frida's was the hardest one.
And I guess it was like weirdly blind as well coming out of it.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that, So, obviously most people are going to be more, maybe would understand more like a blind step up or something. But that seems, because it's a blind step down, weird. Because it's rare that something just drops off to nothing. And then it's horrible. Just like, you just got to ride out.
It was just horrible. And we had no other way. The track had to go through there. So actually it all stemmed, the angle of the landing and everything all stemmed from the fact that the second landing, we couldn't block that road. And when we did block that road, we could only block one lane. So you couldn't have it going straight out the window. You had to have it going diagonal.
Yeah.
Because.
And then was there a pole there as well?
Yeah.
Like that one?
Basically, you couldn't go.
Telephone
if you came
pole.
straight out of the balcony, we would have had to build a berm on the other side of the road, so it wasn't an option. So you had to come out of the balcony at 45, which is what caused all the problems. Like people, it's a race situation. People panic and they maybe lose a bit of concentration, and
yeah,
it's a difficult one because actually, I didn't find it remotely scary to ride. I found it scary to watch because. To ride it, I just slow down, and I think in a race run I would just slow down. It's not worth the danger of going quick into it. But I guess I'm not a racer.
Until you're racing, you're like, yeah, hold a bit more speed here, and then next thing you know, you're not going 45, you're going 50.
Yeah. But blindness is scary.
Or less.
Blindness is scary, and
blind to the right.
Yeah.
That's a gnarly
and like
gnarly
what
thing.
The fuck experience do I have going off blind drops, living in the Surrey Hills and pedalling out of people's windows? I don't have any, so I didn't know really what. Yeah, I don't know. No. I guess no one does.
Was it noticeable though that some of the riders dealt with it way easier than others? Yeah. They just like, yeah, cool, and then some were like really confused by it, or just couldn't figure it out.
I'm not saying anyone's. Everyone who's there is very capable and amazing mountain bike riders, but like. It's a different thing. Same goes for the wall rides. It's like a bit more skate parky, a bit more. Like I feel very comfortable doing those things and working them out, doing like something a bit trialsy, which is what
some
that
don't.
was. But some don't.
Do it.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'd be awful in a skate park, but I'm not. Yeah, but I feel quite comfortable actually jumping out windows. Weirdly, don't know why.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
do more. Do it more.
I will.
Maybe.
So out of there, then you came into the steps where Slavic crashed. Then you had super high speed stair sections, town section. It was covered, but not in its entirety. It's really physical. Maybe the stairs flatten out a little bit and they become opportunity to pedal. So you saw a lot of the guys on the smaller bikes gaining a bit of advantage through there.
Yeah, pedaling through it.
There was much. And then onto the jumps. That was cool actually. That Ford Ranger jump, we had to build a landing that would have tons of dirt. It's tons and tons of dirt that we put on top of those landings. But they wanted a garage where they had this trick, expensive Ford Ranger.
That Ranger.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
That was quite a challenge. That was one of the first ones.
You just built that from scratch, just like put the truck there. Do you build around the truck, or did you?
No, we just built an opening.
After?
No, so the way we actually build them, I don't know if you're even remotely interested, but we build with sheets of ply. So we make a ply framework, and we fix that together so it's strong if you push outwards. We then get pallets. And we stack them up, and if you imagine it just looks like a giant staircase. I'll send you some pictures as well. So we make it into a.
You know what? I saw that. Yeah, please. I did see that you sent, and I didn't realise that's what it was. I thought you'd built like a pallet grandstand almost for people to watch from.
Exactly what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like.
Interesting.
So after we've got our pallet wood steps, a giant stair set, we then put down like a OSB or like chipboard, like the cheapest ply available. And we tie it down, we nail gun and screw all of the pallets and the ply together. So you end up with this kind of strong structure. It's not ideal, but it's as quick as you can get a fucking 8 foot high landing, 10 foot high landing done.
Yeah.
Then after that, we then start bobcatting dirt in. But it is a lot of weight.
So then it's like just levels of dirt almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to have a good machine driver so they don't, because they could. If you smack any of the timber, you make it structurally unstable. It needs to be quite a careful job. And then once you've got all of that dirt in, you can feel the thing creak and move, but it is actually safe. They're pallets. They're weirdly strong, and when you stack them up carefully, it does work quite well. But that's the quickest way you can build a 10-foot landing, I think. It's amazing. It's like with dirt.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
Where we used to build, probably like a lot of people, the dirt jump scene, it was like on an old tip. So people would just dump washing machines and you'd be like, yes, someone's left a fridge. We got another landing.
Totally, yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what we've, I've grown up with Christian and John and Bean, and we've just been building. Like John's house, we had barrels to land on, and it's all like that. So yeah, that's I feel so lucky to have, like, particularly Stolf and Liam, Christian and Liam, for those jobs, because to build something where you put tons and tons of dirt on, I think each landing is approximately 15 meters cubed of dirt, so it's quite a lot of it's a few tipper loads of dirt, and then you're putting it on something you've made out of pallets. You're putting it over a fucking really expensive car. It's quite gnarly. So the boys killed it though. They did a great job. And it has to, remember, it has to withstand cases, because let me tell you, there were some cases.
Yeah. Hey, so there's 4 of you doing the build. Have you got extra people though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've got a big team of Mexicans.
You're like managing it almost, and then you've got like Mexican, almost like labourers, or
it's really difficult. Basically, we're doing the entire build, but we have people bringing that, and I sound like I'm like making small of their task. It's not at all. It's not that at all. But so much of the build is about like standing back and looking at it, and because you're putting things in thin air where the landing is going to go where you think it should be. You need to, so you can't just. It's what's important that we've got 4 people that all ride and have opinions on that. Liam's a World Cup downhill, ex-World Cup downhill racer. Christian's like super experienced downhill racer and motocross racer. John's obviously a trail boss. Like, we've got all people that all have an idea, and so it's very difficult to. I actually feel bad a lot of the time, because we have this sort of workforce of people that are keen to work, and all we can really get them to do is move materials for us. And
right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have a lot of help. It's massively appreciated, yeah. So after the Ford Ranger jump, we then have the last jump. And the last jump was, I tested it, I actually just one-banged it. We tested it at 14 or 15 metres, which I thought was going to be one of my things is, I don't like to put a jump really small and then move it bigger, because I think that's super unfair to do that and then expect everyone to turn up on a plane jet lagged and ride into it at its biggest. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So I try and do it as big as possible so that I'm also testing in the same way that they're.
So what would have happened previously if it was not saying not you, but what you could have done would have been have it quite small, maybe a 10-foot gap, but then for the actual event it would move back to 16. Is that what you mean?
Well, what I mean is,
so you were just,
when I first ride it, I could have made it 10 foot. I could have made it like a 15-foot little double, and I could have cruised in. But then that would mean that all of these international riders would have to. I could gradually make it as big as possible. That's what I'm saying, safely.
Yeah. So, but was it preset then where that was going to be? Almost. That's what the course designer or whoever, I guess that's you. Someone said at some point it's got to be 16 feet.
No, it's just however it works. And you've got a really big
there
downhill.
You go. Right.
Yeah, okay, I understand what you mean. So the landing's a fixed point, obviously. You can't move the landing. So we've already built the landing. Yeah. We've built the takeoff.
So then you judge
Yeah.
the speed coming into it and go, right, we can go here, we can push it a little bit, maybe you can put a few cranks in here,
which is I've realised now how ludicrously under mathematical I am at that, because I pace it out, and you know my 14 metres is probably 16 metres, and then I'm just such an idiot, but I am an idiot, and I'm obviously not. Because I can
also
look
from
at
the
it,
years of doing it, you can look at it and go, that's roughly where this needs to be. And this is the thing that you forget that you can do
exactly,
sometimes, is you can naturally judge speed. Like you'll look at a drop and go, yeah, I can figure that out. Same with a dirt jump. You can ride a set of trails for the first time and know exactly how much speed to come in with it.
Exactly.
But you don't know how you just know because it's years of doing it. It's like muscle memory in it almost. It's like muscle brain memory.
But it's quite ridiculous. Like that jump, when I tested it, was at whatever 14, 15 meters or whatever it was, and I got it. I thought I was going to jump off at one point during that air, but I got it like completely perfect first time, and I pedalled in all the way up until the lip as hard as I could, And like,
Yeah.
we thought that we were going to make it even bigger, but we didn't. We ended up making it smaller for the event, and I'm really glad we did. But like for me as a rider, the last thing I want to do is have braking points before jumps, because that's way harder to measure than pedaling points. It's like it's way more thin air. Like braking slow, it's harder to. God, I'm really struggling.
It's hard to judge braking.
It is, isn't it? Right?
Speeding up,
like
isn't
slowing
it?
down and trying to not overshoot something is a nightmare for me. I'd rather be pushing to clear it. So we kind of worked towards that, and it ended up being perfect. So it was very cool. But that was that was
most nerve-wracking feature or not?
Yeah, probably. I'd be stupid if I said that something else was. It probably wasn't most It was 8 a.m. I hadn't had like breakfast, and I just had to pedal as hard as I could for quite a stretch to get enough speed to clear it. So yeah, and I didn't really even like run into it. I just looked at it and it worked out.
Good effort, dude. Nice,
no, it's good, and
really good. And that's why they have you out there.
Yeah, there you go. And it worked for worked for all of the riders. So everyone was happy. That's the biggest thing for us, is that like everyone's stoked, and it's really rewarding afterwards, because from our perspective, all of the branding team's done. It's event time. The riders turn up. I always feel like a bit of an arsehole, because I feel like I've just like dumped this on them. And because I'm a rider myself, I feel like I'm just like, there you go, fucking do what you will with that. And giving them this heinous, horrible course. But it wasn't like that. They were all hyped. And also part of it is like after first practice, when everyone's ticked off every feature and they're nervous, it's really, really cool to see how hyped they are, and they'll come over and pat you on the back, and it's really rewarding. It's wicked.
That's cool, man. That's really cool.
It was brilliant having Jono out there. That was one thing, because this is Jono's first
I'd love to have seen more of Jono.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, first street race. I'd love it if it had qualified. That would have been sick. It'd be great to see him on the live broadcast, but also can fully appreciate when you see the standard of these riders that, with the greatest respect, I'd never heard of them, but they are ridiculously good at riding that sort of stuff, and probably most of other stuff as well.
I think it's a thing on its own, street racing, and I would be surprised if your first one wasn't a bit of a throwaway. Like, it's very, very overwhelming, and it's like, you get flown straight in, and you're in these fucking busy streets in Mexico, and like, you don't know what anyone's saying, and it's a pressure situation, and when you drop in, someone's radioing, and you have to do all this, and you on the uplift up, and it's I would be really surprised if anyone did amazing at their first street race. like
It's interesting as well. I mean, I know we have touched on this before, but go follow Camilo Sanchez on Instagram. It's at Camilo_Sanchez_S, not the comedian with 1 million followers. No. The mountain biker with 200,000, and look how much he's riding street stuff.
Mate,
like he practices this shit, right? Like they're doing it a lot. They're hitting stair gaps and stuff all the time.
Bomb, dude. They bomb. There's some standouts for me. Obviously, Adrian Laron's fucking amazing street racer. Thomas Slavic. They're both friends for many years. So you couldn't not mention them. But one for Velez. Is well worth following. You've got Pedro Ferreira, you've got Sebastian Holguin, Felipe Agurto. Like, all of these guys are going unbelievably fast downstairs in their own time. Like,
it's so sick. Would you say it's more or less physical than a downhill track, which is an equal length?
Ooh, a great question. A great question.
Thanks.
I actually think it would. I wouldn't be able to answer, because you'd have to ask someone who.
It'd be interesting to ask like Jackson or Bren or Jono even. Actually, I bet they'd have a great insight.
I mean, Jono was really gassed at the end of it. Every rider that came down that last straight was really, really gassed. Like, people weren't clearing the last jump. Qualifying because they beat
by the end of it.
So physical. But I don't know. Great question. Who knows?
Yeah, I can imagine that the shock of the steps and all that sort of stuff must take it out of you quite a bit. Like bike setup. Yeah, again, be interested to hear. Maybe we get Jono on at some point in the future to talk about his experience.
Yeah, I would have loved to have.
That'd be cool. Great studio guest.
Yeah, I would have loved to have Slavic on, as well as the BSI team and Phosphro. And in future, we'll make it happen, because it's really interesting. It's like this. It's like this subculture of mountain biking, and it's proper like if you think Slavic's been doing it for a long old time. Old time.
Yeah,
now,
dude he has. I think it's interesting that Red Bull obviously are putting more into this, hopefully, and it's going to become more of a thing because it's opening doors, isn't it, to these athletes as well who are getting prime time TV time. Like, it's all positive, dude, for sure. Yeah, big fan of it. Really enjoyed it. I wish I'd have watched the other ones.
Yeah, they are good.
I wish I'd have watched the other ones. I haven't watched. It's Valparaiso,
Medellin, and
Medellin. That's
and
it. I didn't watch them. But now I think I've got the bug for it. I really enjoyed watching the street racing.
Me too. And obviously I've got a vested interest in it, but like I hope I get to do more. I'd love to go out to Valparaiso. I'd love to go out to Medellin again, and I'd love to be part of the series because it feels like it's going somewhere. I really enjoy this work. Actually, I really do. Yeah.
Good. I think again a European thing, a UK
Bring
one
Lisbon back,
potentially
dude.
in the future.
Bring Lisbon back. Do you remember Lisbon downtown? I think that's the original one.
Oh really? I do. I remember. I know the name Lisbon Downhill.
Yeah.
But I can't ever remember seeing it.
I went out and watched it when I was like 16 or something.
Yeah, it was before all the streaming stuff then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you didn't see it on a video or something. Yeah, I don't. Was it in the Sprung?
I don't know, I actually can't remember. I don't know if I've ever seen any video of it. I've seen it in real life and I've seen it in picture form. But yeah, it's a long time ago, obviously.
Yeah,
20 years ago, isn't it?
I think a UK one would be sick, dude. It would be fun if something could happen one day. I don't know where it'd be, but
where would it be?
There's gotta be
People,
someplace.
Please, listeners, comment below. Tell us where. If you know of a town that could have a street race, let us know. I'd love to.
You know where is on like a pretty steep valley? Well, Sheffield, of course, but also Newcastle.
There you go.
When we went to Newcastle, Emma and I stayed down by the Tyne and we walked up to the town hall, and it's a pretty steep old thing. I mean, I don't know if it's steep enough, but loads of stairs, tons of history, like castle and all sorts of stuff. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hey, there'd be a spot, maybe. Even if it's just like low scale, like there'll be a spot. Maybe this is the calling for you. Maybe this is your calling.
Yeah, well, I'd love to, and obviously we've thought about it loads over the year. I'd love to do one in hometown or where I grew up, but I just don't know if in the UK you can get the... I don't know, first of all, if anyone's open-minded enough to think about any sport other than football, but also...
Very true.
You can get the health and safety past, like, having a jump in the street and without people moaning. I just think we got a different angle on things. Bit of a shitty angle.
Do you remember they used to do some races? I don't know if they're in the UK though, that were in like supermarkets. And stuff.
Yeah. I've done a downtown race.
You go like down elevators, and then you get on an elevator and go up and stuff like that. That'd be.
I won the Red Bull Plymouth downtown race.
Did you really?
Back in the day, yeah. I had a triple on the stair set, didn't I? Ledge.
You uncorked it.
Yeah, I remember actually. Felt well Formula One. My brother went to university in Plymouth, and I had this triple. First run, I got fastest time, and then my second run, because we had 2 runs, my back wheel blew up on the triple in front of everyone. I came off, slid along the road, and then we had to like hide it because there was paparazzi taking pictures of it. So we were like, my brother got his coat and covered it up. It was quite well Formula One,
I've seen that happen before with a bike.
Yeah.
Just like, don't take photos.
Please leave us alone.
Carrying it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's so funny. I was going to do a bit of investigative journalism, but we'll do it on next episode.
Yeah.
I was curious about something, and actually, let's just put it out to the listeners because I think this is an interesting thought. Right? It's just an interesting thought I had while I was walking the other day, and the thought was so it kind of came off the back of Bren's downhill versus moto rant.
Yeah.
Has a manufacturer, or actually, no, the question is, could a manufacturer win a supercross and a downhill in the same year? And then I was thinking, did Honda do it that year? I don't know. And I was going to look at it, and I thought, I'll wait, and we'll do it live. We'll do it on another episode. Not that it'd take long. But did Honda win a downhill and a supercross? Because I feel like when Bren and Greg were on those Honda bikes, could be like the Ricky Carmichael era as well.
Oh my gosh, how cool would that be? Yeah.
And then could it ever happen again? Especially with all these, moto brands getting more involved in.
Yeah. Interesting
mountain
thought. I
bikes.
like it, dude. Yeah, let's put it out there for sure.
Yeah, it'd be kind. I wonder if anyone could do that little bit of research, save us having to do it.
Yeah, too right. Yeah.
Interesting to know. Be interesting to know, right? But yeah, that's sick though, dude. It's nice to catch up and get some inside knowledge on this street
Absolutely.
race.
I'm sorry I've sort of rattled on a bit about it all. But it is.
Well, there is
current.
one question we haven't spoke about,
Please.
which is like super important: the food, the tacos, and also where are you staying? Are you like really close to the town, or are you staying a little bit out?
Walk away.
Oh right.
The
Right.
food is I'm a big. Obviously, after coming here so many times, I'm a big Mexican food fan, and it's so good, so good.
Is it?
I think there's something about just street food that I really like as well. Something unfussy. But
Yeah.
I've had some of the.
They're
best
doing like
tacos
corn and
I've-
stuff.
yeah. It's just a delight. Yeah,
Think you can bring one home, like just a taco in the suitcase?
can do.
Got
Tacos
in the bike
don't
bag.
survive well, do they? I mean, even if you leave them 2 seconds, they get too wet, don't they?
Yeah.
I've had a new one. I've had a
dear.
gordito. Have you ever had those? Gorditos? They're like
No, I don't think so.
well, they're new to my Mexican food.
I feel like we quite a dumbed down Mexican food in the
Oh
UK.
mate, yeah.
Especially.
And then when
Yeah,
it
it's
is
like so
Mexican, it's
different.
like Tex-Mex, like Californian. It's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, it's
Not real
so good
Mexican
out
food.
here. Fucking hell, yeah. Really, really good. I've eaten very well indeed, for sure.
Really? Have you done much other biking? Have you been riding in the local area? You said you'd been for a ride in the woods. Is there actually, this is an interesting one, is there actually a mountain biking scene
absolutely.
other than the street races?
Yeah, absolutely.
There
Yeah,
is?
yeah. Well, I went for cross-country
Oh,
ride
wow.
this morning with Phosphoro, and like there is, I mean, there's people riding the whole time. You actually see people around town with bikes, so it's cool.
No
Yeah,
way.
it's really good, yeah.
I guess I kind of, from the outside looking in, would think that there's that unfortunate feeling that maybe things would get stolen, so you got to keep an eye on your bike quite a bit. Is that a thing, or is it quite like
Worse in England, mate.
not that bad?
Fucking way worse in where I live in the Surrey
Is
Hills.
it?
Fucking right, yeah. Way worse.
Should we cut to a LAKA ad?
Let's cut to a LAKA ad.
How many bikes do you think are stolen in the UK each year?
I guess I'm going to say each year is going to be 40...
More.
56.
More than 56.
116.
106 sounds like a lot, but it's still not enough.
Okay.
77.3 thousand was stolen in 2020 alone.
It's a lot of bikes getting stolen, man.
Did you know, dude? It is a lot of bikes. It's a bike every 6 minutes in Great Britain, with 54% of the thefts being from your home.
Wow, that's awful, man. I also heard 81% of bike theft victims were emotionally impacted by the crime, and in March 2020, most thefts took place while the bike was locked.
So they're impacted and it was locked.
Yes.
They're emotionally impacted and it was locked.
Yeah, it's tough.
That is really sad. We want to help our podcast family avoid the drama, heartbreak, and inconvenience that comes with having your pride and joy stolen.
Yep.
After all, those people aren't just taking your bike.
No.
They're taking away your freedom.
They are.
Your enjoyment.
Yeah.
And for some people, an escape from the pressures.
Of everyday life.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Voted best cycle insurance provider for 4 years running. That is a company called LAKA, and we are stoked to have them back supporting the Ride Companion. So, LAKA does insurance differently, and unlike most insurance companies, they actually aim to save you money on your cover each month. You see, LAKA doesn't charge a fixed sum. Instead of paying at the beginning of the month for what damages an insurer projects might happen, you actually pay at the end of the month for what has actually happened. Get it?
It makes sense.
Does make sense.
It makes sense. So basically, what you pay is based on the collective's total claims for that month, up to a max capped amount.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
It's better as a collective, isn't it?
It's better.
It is better.
By insuring with LAKA, you benefit from cover for theft and damage of bikes, kit and accessories, even during races. Some exceptions for pros, but you'll not be at a race, so don't worry.
No, that's fine. There's £200 worth of emergency cash to be used for hiring another bike, which is really good when you're on a trip.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Covers you abroad for 120 days and protects you if an airline damages your kit.
That's useful.
That is useful.
Claims are handled by real cyclists and are usually agreed within a day.
Fast. Cover starts from just £5 per month. So, Should we give the companionship a little deal?
Yeah, dude, here's what we're going to do for our podcast family members. Head over to laka.co.
What's
just
that?
CO. Laka.co.
Yeah.
CO.
Yeah, CO.
And get a free online quote. Have a little read through all the information and see if it's for you. Mm-hmm. When you're happy, enter the code, and this is in capitals.
It's in capitals.
Ride Companion 30. What is that?
Ride Companion 30. What is it?
Ride Companion 30 in capitals. It gets you 30 days free insurance.
Wow, that's a deal, man.
That is a deal.
We'll put all the links in the show description.
Yeah.
So people can just head there, click the link, get a free quote, and hopefully have a little bit of peace of mind. No one's stealing your bike, and be able to enjoy the beauty that is bicycle riding.
Oh, can keep enjoying it. Imagine if you got your bike nicked in the free 30 days. I'd be real cavalier in those 30 days.
Yeah.
I would. I'd be leaving it outside and all of that.
Thank you, LAKA.
Thanks, LAKA.
That worked brilliantly. But yeah, no, there is a riding scene. It's good. Yeah. It's really good. Right. Some of the places we've been, obviously bikes, there's like a barrier of entry, which I hate, that they're so expensive and I whine on about it, but then I'm fucking riding them, aren't I? So, but there is that. So in some of the poorer towns, there's not much riding going on, but here is this is a big city, and there's loads of biking. Yeah.
Awesome. And how, something else we haven't spoke about, how did the bar launch
Brilliant.
go?
Yeah, we haven't spoken about it. Mate, loads of positive feedback, and it's always lovely to hear from everyone, and the support is very heartwarming. Awesome. It's wicked. Yeah, stoked. And thanks for doing a whole episode on my handlebars, honestly.
Hey, no problem, man. I got a set on the regular bike at the moment.
Good.
Yeah, got a set on. I went and met a listener, which was really fun. Who actually has a name too. He's called Matty, so that was lovely.
You dropped the helmet off?
Again, we gave... Yeah, well, we gave the helmet away. I looked at his postcode and I was like, well, he lives an hour away. So, yeah, I dropped the helmet off with Matty. We went for a short cross-country ride.
Brilliant.
Which was lovely. And yes, dude, it blows me away. It really does, like how nice people are in this community that we're creating. Yeah, I went to Matt's, went to his house, met his girlfriend.
Wicked.
Or wife, maybe. Like, I sat and had tea, a cup of tea, not... food tea. Sat and had a cup of tea, then went out for a ride, and it was just lovely, dude. Like, such a nice person.
Brilliant.
A worthy winner as well, like a really worthy winner of the helmet. Like, really appreciated it. So yeah, I thought I was gonna get beasted because he's like a gravel rider, cyclocross guy, and I was like, oh god, I'm gonna get annihilated. But oh man, because I bonked hard at the weekend too. Holy shit. Embarrassing bonk.
Big ride.
Like, super embarrassing.
Whereabouts were you? Up in the peaks?
Just rode from my house, yeah. Just did my regular loop, which I've been doing on the e-bike all winter. And it's different. I'd not eaten much. It's my own fault. I'd not eaten much. But yeah, full bonk, dude. Full when the jaw goes. When the jaw goes and you're a bit like... Do you have the jaw? Does your jaw go?
I don't know what
my
you mean.
jaw sags.
Does it?
So I look like... a bit like that. So yeah, my jaw goes when I get really tired. I can't hold my jaw up. So yeah, dude, went for a ride. Ended up cutting it a little bit short. Straight to the petrol station. Got myself 2 cans of Dr Pepper, which were not promoting anymore because they've never replied. Yeah, fuck Dr Pepper. So we got some Dr Pepper, some like snacks, and just spent 10 quid on snacks just to get me home. It was a bad bonk, dude.
It was bad. Empty belly makes for quite a bad shopper, doesn't
Empty
it?
legs.
Like you just buy crazy gear.
Oh man, I was just like shortcake, fucking Boost bars, Snickers. I just had it all. But it got me home, so that was good. But yeah, that's all I've been really up to, dude. We got a lot going on behind the scenes at the moment with the podcast. A few things we'll talk about off air, which is good. Everything's just ticking over quite nicely, mate, to be honest with you. Yeah, good. Nice weekend just gone.
Mate, next week we're going to get back to some normality, aren't we? We're going to be back in the swing of things. I'm sorry I've been away so long. It's to you and to...
Yeah, it's all right.
We'll be back amongst it.
Yeah, we will be back amongst it. Should we do some listener questions and then get you out of here?
Dude. Let's do it, yeah.
Let's do some listener questions. It's been great to catch up though, man. Likewise, it's great to get more of an insight. I know we probably should have done more of these, but I know you've been super busy. But it would have been next time. We'll make something happen.
That's down to me. That it's a big ask, these things, and like I'm just I have no control over where I am and how much time I spend on anything. So it's pretty. I'd love to do more.
Understood, mate. Understandable. All right, let's see what we've got going on in the old listener queues. Oh, you're not on it. You are. No, I'm on it.
Sorry, I'm actually not. I'm not logged in. Apologies.
He's not on it. All right, first one. Oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it. This is like, this is a bit like when you talked about putting your own name on a carbon bar. Oh, on a bar, sorry, not a carbon bar. So I know his name's Ian, but it's Ice Art 2. Do my eyes deceive me, or is Davey looking hench? I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I'm claiming that one.
Davey is looking hench.
I mean, maybe looking a bit. Mate, I'm living like a bodybuilder at the moment.
Yeah.
Like really, I'm loving it. I really am. I'm back into training. I'm enjoying it. I'm food prepping every day. I'm enjoying my training.
Yes,
really enjoying it. Joining that gym has just like sparked this thing that I used to have about training.
Wicked.
And
because you were a gym
really
hater for a while, weren't you? I didn't used to be able to talk to you about the gym.
Yeah,
you're a
hated
hater.
it.
Yeah,
hated gyms. But what I hate about gyms was the clientele. It's not the thing. Like, the thing was great. I actually loved it growing up, always in the gym, training, obviously racing and stuff. You want to be fit. So a lot of my old training was more cardio based. I do a lot of rowing, cycling, running, quite light weights and stuff. Then I went through a little stage in my life when I was in my early 20s of getting really interested in just, I guess, looking good naked is what I call it. It's not for anything. I just want to look a bit better, which I think is okay. And then I fell out of love with that. And what I fell out of love with, I think, is at the same time as the whole Instagram thing came around. So every time you go to the gym, everyone's just sat there on the fucking phone, and everyone's just like taking pictures, and they've got like, it's great to look at sometimes, let's be real, but like there's leggings everywhere, and it's just like not what I like about it. But I joined the new gym, which is like spit and sawdust. No one's on the phone. Everyone's in there getting after it.
Yeah.
If there's ever even anyone in there. So I've just fallen back in love with it, dude. Like, I really have.
What's a lap with Davey around the gym look like?
It's different every day, man. So we're breaking body parts down at the moment. Yeah, so Monday's chest day, which we've just finished up. Tuesday's legs. Wednesday's a day off with some cardio. Thursday's back and buys. And Friday would be... What we missed? Shoulders.
Nice.
Sunday's deadlifts. That's kind of what it looks like at the moment, and that's what I enjoy. And I know other people do it differently. A lot of people do a circuit and it's got a bit of everything in it. I appreciate that. I've done it either way, but at the moment that's working for me. And then doing 3 weeks heavy, and then I'm doing a deload week. So we're in deload week at the moment. Deload week is you come down the weight half, but the same rep. So it's just a case of just letting your body recover a little bit, repair, and then... So weeks 1, 2, and 3 in the month are heavy, and then it's deload week, and then you go up the weight for the next month. Nice. That makes sense.
Like it. There we go.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it at the moment, man.
Good.
There you go. I like with Davey. But yeah, thank you, Ian. Okay, enjoyed. Matty Bear. Ollie, what happens to all the timber used in the street races when it's over?
So... a lot of the timber, I mean, a lot of the features even are full lengths, like 2.4 metre lengths of 4x2, so it's very usable, and it all gets donated to the locals. So that's been across the board every street race.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much that we do.
I love that someone's just got like a Red Bull thing
cool,
in the garden. That's so cool. Sick.
But yeah, so it all gets donated. Like that started, Taxco did it because there was an earthquake, so it was just a no-brainer to donate all of the thingies. Actually, I tell you what,
a lot of painting goes on, right? Like they actually seem to like
fully brand everything.
re-energize they seem to like really re-energize that little that space almost, like repaint everything, make it look pretty.
People really appreciate it.
Is that fair?
I don't read a lot of comments. I read nice comments. The bad ones I don't read because I get a lot.
Edit. I saw a comment that you'd replied to. And
you saw the comment.
I think you got the wrong end of the stick.
I didn't. The one I replied to got deleted. It was underneath that guy's comment.
There you go.
He called me out for being white Surrey boys, building things in people's houses. All of this, like, horrible stuff, and it's just not how it is. It was so far off, and I shut him down hard enough that he deleted his comment. Blah blah blah. Super lame talking about this stuff, but I couldn't leave it because it irritated me so much. Like,
no, good on you. No, fucking call it out. That's interesting.
That guy's comment wasn't the one. I understand.
Because I read it and then I saw your response and I was like,
I know,
lad's gone hard.
No, I went hard on the other guy because, and for good reason as well. Because it's just not like that. It's brilliant. It's really nicely done. These events are, and they're really nice. They're community things. They're not. If someone looks at this and sees that we're
I guess
out
they see
here,
like corporate company coming in.
Yeah, but I mean,
sort of
I mean, we're working
taking
for
advantage of
Mexicans.
locals. I don't know.
He was just like, it was a horrible comment that I replied to that got deleted. That he deleted.
Fuck it, good on you,
Stoked
dude. I appreciate that. I'm glad it wasn't the one that I thought.
No, I tried to reply
like,
to that dude and say, look, I was replying to the comment underneath, but I don't know if he saw it. You never know. Who cares, really, ultimately? But
yeah, mate, it's just, it blows me away how nice people are out there at the moment. Yeah. I'm going through a lot of the, thinking and stuff at the moment. But again, met a guy out riding just the other day who was a subscriber to the podcast. Just lovely people. So it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
But again, thank you to everyone that helped support this. The fact that people are doing listener questions and all this, it still really blows me away.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Too right, absolutely.
What else we got? Boyle at 91. Is the O-Dub bar the absolute dream? And is Davey up for a backflip challenge? So yes, I'll enter that quickly. The backflip challenge is still going to happen. I just haven't found time to go to the skate park. And I'm going to make it sound super easy and just do it, but I will do. There'll be a backflip landed to dirt this year at some point.
Oh, love it. 100%. Love it, dude.
100%.
Where's the dirt? What's the dirt jump that you can do it on?
Don't know, man. I have to have a think because a lot of the trails that we have up here are flippable.
Don't flip it.
Not for me.
Don't flip anything. Yeah, you want a safe jump.
It's got to be the right. There is one that you'll have a lot of people if they watch some of the 50-1 stuff in Grenoside. There was a step up that Luce and Craig Evans built, which I think could be the perfect
it's like
jump.
A fly out, isn't it? I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you've probably seen it. It's like a fly out. Yeah, so that's not too far away. So that could be the first one, maybe, but we'll see. I don't know.
I like it. Davey's fucking writing checks, dude.
And yeah, the O-Dub bar is the dream, man. I really like it. I didn't cut mine down.
Oh, okay. So you're running.
So what we running 780?
Are you 31.8 or 35? Clamp.
35.
You're 800, dude.
Yeah.
You go for the wide bars.
800.
Yeah.
800. Yeah, I've gone for the widies then, but I think 800 came off them. And also, don't own a hacksaw, so they were staying 800. They could have been 860, and I'd have stayed. They'd still be on. Yeah, dude, you got to iron those pecs out
exactly.
the side. So
nice.
Okay. J Parades 84. Parade could be our Mexican listener.
Could be, yeah. Big up to the Mexican listeners that I've met out here. It's lovely to hear from you out here. They were so nice.
Listener.
No, there was multiple.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you two track or GPS your mountain bike rides, e.g. Garmin or Polar, not Strava?
No.
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 Not all.
You?
I don't. No, I don't care. No. I just don't give a shit. I used to. It used to be a thing. I'd be like, oh, I always want to see. But it was always, I just want to see how far I've been.
Yeah.
But now I know how far I've been because my legs are telling me, like, you've been too far.
Yeah, I don't go out to make my legs tired, to be honest. I'm here for a good time, dude.
I did, what was good is going out on the regular bike, not the e-bike, and I went out on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember, and just went with the wind. It was like, whatever way my body said, go that way. It was like my regular XC ride, but it kind of wasn't at the same time, because I didn't know if I was going to do the whole thing. So I was just like, just go wherever your body says go. And it was like, I want to go see the place where I go swimming. Okay, I'll ride over there. It's like 40 minutes. And then, I just want to go ride this descent. So rode over there.
Biking, dude.
Just no time constraints,
biking,
like nothing. It's so nice.
Lost. They've made it. They've lost it. For me, anyway. To each their own.
Juju Beans 2013. Is there any coffee available? No, we're out of stock of coffee. I'm currently drinking Aldi's Own, which is dog shit. So we need to get back on the coffee.
Do you know what I've
so
just
yeah,
had?
if anyone,
I've had something called a cold brew tonic. I got told by one of my friends out here that she said I should try a cold brew tonic because I always have Americano Frijo, ice Americano.
Okay.
She said try cold brew
Ice
tonic,
Americano.
tonic water and cold brew. It's so nice, dude. Never a taste I would have said would be good.
Oh,
Slice of orange in there.
nice.
Oh man, the dream.
Orange and coffee.
You wouldn't believe it. I know you wouldn't believe it, but it
Wow,
is literally
that's
like
something you're gonna make them when
mate,
you get
it's like
back.
a
You're making
daytime
them.
cocktail. I don't know. I feel like I'll butcher it, dude. I feel like I stay in my lane. I'll just make a normal coffee, but like I would love to make them when I get back and not butcher them. But
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, we've answered this, but I'll let you do it again because it'll make a clip. What's with all the friggin' names today? J Kafari 20. I think were the houses that got rode through staged to look like dwellings, or are they real homes?
They're 100% real homes. And honestly, the Frida's drop. Frida is not the lady who owns the house. Frida is the dog that is in the house. But Frida's drop, that is their living room. That is their TV. We had to move the sofa, the French dresser, and that they were sat there watching the event. And they were so hyped to be part of the live stream. Really lovely people.
That's
we spent a
amazing.
lot of time there and... Yeah, it was mega cool. And also, another thing is that obviously the homes are completely restored back to normal before they actually are. They actually get an upgrade
Just
a lot.
roll
of the time.
out of there with a hole.
Like, dude, I get so many comments, so many of these like negative comments. Are like, it's so ridiculous. Obviously, they're restored back to their state and better, and the whole street gets painted, and everyone gets money, and it's not a big unfair conspiracy. All is well in Mexico.
Yeah, for sure. Funky Bear UK. Ever been through a busy time in life where you had little time to ride and lost the buzz for mountain biking?
Well,
Back and weigh in. I have.
Yeah.
I've been through that. I went through it a few years ago. I'd say a couple of years before lockdown, really. That's it. You know what? Even just before lockdown, I wasn't riding that much. I was kind of over it. And then lockdown hit, and it was a few things came together. I was doing a behind the bike series, so I was getting bikes off various brands to ride, and that did re-spark it a little bit. But yeah, I've definitely been through that, and you come out the back of it way better and way more into riding. I think you just need to, if you feel like you need to take a break, take a break. Don't let it stress you out that you're taking a break. And I'd say just fall back in love with riding with the people that you love riding with as well.
People are very important.
I feel like too many people think about it as like a clique and like, oh, I've fallen out the clique and I can't reach out to those people to go for a ride again. Like, don't worry about that. Just get back out, enjoy the banter with your friends. But yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Me, for example.
Yeah, it's a very social thing, bike riding, isn't it? So I think you're quite right about that. I think other people probably are the key, and like the hype that other people bring. Jono Jones is a great example. It was so nice having him out here in Mexico and having him here, like experiencing it for the first time. It like lifts you up and you're hyped. He's always like that. He's a hype. He brings the hype, doesn't he? You've got to find yourself a Jono Jones, someone who brings the hype, and you'll get back amongst it, no doubt.
For sure. We'll do two more, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Um,
Hey, can I just do a shout out?
Yeah.
Shout out to Mexican internet, dude, because I thought this was going to be a absolute shit show, and it's been just fine.
Have you seen how much it's
Yes,
uploaded?
Yes. I've been watching it the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
Terrified, but yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, but it's been good. It's been good. There's no delay. We're killing
no
it.
delay.
It's fucking nuts. It's good. It's like being at home. Decent.
Mexican studio coming in
too
hot.
right.
Oh dear. CHR_ISG7. This is. Hang on. Sorry. I'm just checking. Is this what I think it is? Maybe it's not. No, it's not. Okay. Goat of mountain biking, in your opinion. Who's the goat of mountain biking? In your opinion.
So this is
Not
like, it's so difficult. There's so many people that I think are just incredible riders. You know, like Like I'm out here with Neo at the moment. I'm out here with Jackson, and you can't argue that he's like a kid can do a fucking double flip and win a downhill race. It's like, that's insane. But one of my own personal goats would probably be Dan Atherton. For me, he's one of the
great one. Yeah.
Just in terms of bike skill, like if you're into riding, all right, maybe I'm into riding to a slightly weird level, but like analysing how people ride, Dan is one of my favourite riders ever. Like just how skilled he is super, super cool. Then there's other people, there's like Gilly, who is, I think he's approximately 78 and he's still riding the steepest dirt jumps around. Safer than I do, you know. So, mate, there's so many goats. I'm not going to be good for it, but Dan Atherton's a good place to start, I would say. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. Dan Atherton, great place. The one that straight away comes to mind would be Steve Peat for me, local guy. Obviously, I mean that's going to be on a lot of people's. But I think for some strange reasons, I think the fact that he really embodies what mountain biking is to me, in that he keeps it really fun and it's never been too serious, you know. And I mean that with the greatest respect. That he's kept it nice and fun, like. So yeah, Steve's definitely going to be up there for me.
Petey's absolutely great. We wouldn't all be here, I don't think, without him. I think he's made it exactly what it is, and why mountain biking in Britain is so good. Owe a lot to him for sure.
Yeah, agree. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, Reese it's not a great one to end on. Reese 96. Best place to buy a Focus Jam in the UK?
I don't mind the question.
No, I don't mind it either. I think the best place is anywhere that's got one at the moment.
Right, yeah.
If you head to the Focus Bikes website, you can actually check out the dealer list. Dealer list. Yeah, dealer list. We'll call it dealer list. So you can find your local dealer. Reese, if you are genuinely struggling, just hit the DMs and I can point you in the right direction. Chances are I might know the bike shop. And yeah, I think the best place is where you can find.
Mate, do you know what? I'd like
to
to take this opportunity to do a shout out to my Focus Jam, because my Focus Jam has just been on trips around the world, and it's going to go home and it's going to ride cross country, and it's just been off rooftops and it's just done a 16-meter double. And I just think, what a fucking shout out to the Focus Jam, and just bikes in general these days. What they can do is incredible. If
bikes had Tinder, yours would have a great bio, wouldn't it? It'd be like all the travelling it does.
God, he does so much travelling.
All the places it's been.
He's quite gnarly. Oh no, but look, he does cross country rides. It's quite sensitive as well. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
If bikes had Tinder,
it would be a bit like my bike's Tinder would be a bit like, oh, he doesn't look after himself that much. He's a bit unhygienic.
It smells a little bit above me.
He's clearly busy. That's a good one.
Oh dear. Great. All right. I think we can end on that.
Dude, big up yourself.
Everyone. Again, we got a lot going on behind the scenes. April's going to be a big month, folks. Hopefully, we're going to have some news coming out pretty soon. Yeah. And all sorts of shit.
We're going to be back in the game. We're going to be back in the game. And thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for making it happen whilst I'm away, holding down the ship, dog. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Mate, we're holding it down pretty good over here. Don't you worry about that.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to us talk about my bars. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Eat your greens. Pick up your litter. Peace out from Mexico. Adios. Mi amigos.
Peace and love.
Oh, that was a good episode, wasn't it?
Episode. Really enjoyed that one, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the best.
I think so. It's our best work so far. Yeah, definitely. So, what should people do if they want to keep in touch?
Just there.
Yeah.
There's one there.
One down there.
I think there's one there as well.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you.